Good morning, this is Jack from the AfterChart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Tuesday, the 24th of April. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it and transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Now, this is the indices as they finished last night. RUT. We had a perfect touch of rising support, very nice falling wedge, likely flag. Where TF is now, we are likely to gap over wedge resistance at the open, which obviously would be bullish, as the chances are this would be a bull flag. We've got on NDX, we've got wedge resistance. I've got in about the 6690 area. Again, we may well gap over that at the start, less certain. We'll see how that goes. At the very least, I think we're likely to touch it this morning, and that alone is going to be a bullish, because the next obvious target within the wedge would be wedge support down here. So on SPX, we broke up through this wedge yesterday. I didn't see an alternate pattern that was forming, but what I'm looking for here is obviously the double bottom to break up. That involves the breaking conversion of the weekly pivot, and we are testing that now. So I'm liking the upside. Mainly, it's all about the ES weekly pivot. If that can be broken and converted to support, and it's been broken somewhat overnight, then we've already got a potential. We've got a double bottom breaking up with a target looking at a retest this high. We're on a 60-minute buy signal that hasn't reached the possible near miss target. The odds, in my view, favour more upside. Could we fail directly from here? Yes, we could. Obviously, if we fail to convert the weekly pivot to support and we break down and convert the monthly pivot to resistance, that's going to look bearish. So we could continue directly down from here, but I really do like the retest. It's got the signals in its favour. It looks nice. NQ, we got a 60. Actually, this is a 60-minute buy signal fix. I've switched back to the 60-minute chart this morning, I think. No, sorry, 120-minute chart on here. So this is a 120-minute buy signal. We've got a nice looking double bottom here. That needs a breaking conversion of the weekly pivot to support. And we're not quite there at the moment, but it wouldn't take an awful lot to get us there. 67.27, so plenty of buy signal left, so I like the upside on that. Right, on TF, we've now broken up from the falling channel. As I said, that's likely to be a flag. I don't have a decent bottoming pattern here, but you can see we've got the nice channel here. We also had a very nice trendline support on RUT. I'm depending on that to hold, and I've got that on TF in about the 1561 area here. Okay. Right, let's have a look at CL. Now, CL is close to a retest this high. I think Stan was looking for a back test of weekly pivot or a bit above it, and then higher and leg up into 70. I was wondering about a possible retest this high. We haven't seen that, so I think we're probably in Stan's back test. So he's only expecting this to get down to the 68 area, maybe a tad below, and then higher. No current buy or sell signals. NG, I would say that we are against some decent trendline resistance up here, but I certainly wouldn't rule out a move to 71 within that. Now, NG, we've now got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing, got a possible double top set up here. If we were to see a break below 27.05, then we'd be looking for a high, a target which would pretty much be able to retest this low here, or very close to it. So we'll see how that goes. I was talking about the possible double top setting up yesterday. Ideally, that would have the second high for a higher high to set up the positive, negative divergence, and we've got that now. We shall see. HG, I did mention yesterday that we're not correlating that well with DX here, and while DX has barely moved, although it's got a 60-minute buy signal now, and USD is on a sell signal, there is indications that we are going to see a reversal today. It hasn't actually reversed yet, but HG hasn't waited. It's broken up from this bull flag, falling channel, which is probably a bull flag, and if it is a bull flag, then we should see a retest of this high here. That could be the second high of a double top, but I'm not seeing any particular reason to think that it's going to be. I think we're likely to see a bit of a dollar rally from here. We could go higher. Right, GC. GC has been trading more along with DX here. We've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fix. Had a very small double bottom which has made target, and I think we might see another retest of this low to set up a larger double bottom to deliver a larger bounce up into the monthly pivot to possibly as high as weekly pivot area, but a decent bounce of some kind. That should happen while we're seeing DX pull back, so we'll see how that goes. ZB. ZB broke up from this small falling wedge here. We have a 60-minute buy signal that's fixed. That's not reached the possible limits target. I'm wondering about a retest of this low before higher. If we look at the RTH chart on TNX here, what are we looking at? Have we actually retested that high? This was at 29.9. What's the high today? I think it's 29.9. 29.92. Okay, we've had a full retest, marginal higher high. We already had some negative divergence, although not on the 60-minute. We've now got sell signals brewing again on the 60-minute because we've done that marginal higher high. I'm liking a reversal here. I liked it more before TNX spiked up and killed the original sell signals that were brewing. So I still like a reversal here, and ZB is looking nice for a reversal here. So I'd like to see a double bottom and a decent rally up into the 144s, as we've been talking about. Right, DX. DX is all change on currencies today. We haven't actually broken the rising channel here yet, but we've got a nice looking double top formed, and we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed, and the rising channel on RSI has broken down. I'm expecting to see a pullback here. Don't know how far that gets. A very obvious target would be a back test of this broken triangle resistance in the 90.2 area. That would be a nice target to hit. Might go lower. We shall see. Possibly, if it went lower, we could see a test of the weekly pivot, but that's looking a long way down now, and I'm not that confident we're going to reach that. USD, we had a nice little falling wedge that has broken up. We're on a 60-minute buy signal. I think we're bottoming out and likely to rally. Could go the other way, of course. Depends how strongly GX is trending, but this is looking nice reversal. And this is the same across all the currencies, pretty much. GBP USD, little falling wedge has broken up. We've got a 6-minute buy signal. If we didn't have or a 60-minute buy signal fixed already, we've had another one here and another one here. We've got a lot of positive divergence here. I'm expecting to see at minimum a test of the monthly pivot, and very possibly higher. I've got trendline resistance. This would be channel resistance, currently at about the 1.406 area. Okay, USD JPY, this has been proceeding up nicely. I've got two targets for this, which I've mentioned before, if this wasn't a wedge, which I think it's not. And those are the alternate double bottom targets at 109.4 or 110. I think we might see a reverse, a pullback before we see those targets made, but at this stage I think it's likely those targets will get made. So hopefully the 110 area, that would be nice to see, and then we see a decent pullback in all probability on USD JPY. May well go back and retest this low. I'm hoping I'll have a clearer pattern set up by then, but I need the next high to work with, really, and we haven't got that yet. We shall see. All right, USD CAD. I've got a weak 60-minute sell signal as fixed. Looks like it wants to pull back a bit. If we were to see a substantial pullback, then we'd test the weekly pivot and broken resistance. I'm not that confident of getting a pullback that large, but I'm certainly looking at 1.275 for a retest, and possibly we might get as low as weekly pivot. Australian dollar. Australian dollar. We've got a nice little falling wedge here. We've got a very nice 60-minute buy signal fixed. I'm thinking this is bottoming out. Might need to retest the low before it goes. But this is looking as though it's reversing. I would say on the bigger picture, we've now broken below 76, and that means that the bigger trend line, which is a potential bear flag support trend line, has broken down, but I don't think that's going to affect, in all probability, a bounce here. I think that might mean that the outlook is flipping onto a more bearish outlook afterwards. NZUSD, nice falling channel, hasn't broken up yet. A weak 60-minute buy signal is fixed, and a full-size 60-minute buy signal is brewing. Right, KC. Stan's got this likely to not go much higher. That's a fit with the pattern setup, which is a rising wedge. I've got trendline resistance just under 1.2, and if we reach that, then we'll likely have a 60-minute sell signal brewing, and Stan's looking for a reversal into a lower low to set up positive divergence on the bigger picture charts. That may well happen. Until we see a break over this resistance trend line, there's no reason to think it's not going to happen. SB has gone a little lower. I've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. I like the long side here. So cautiously, I don't have a solid support trend line, so I am cautiously optimistic about the long side here, and we should see at least a retracement, possibly a test of this broken trend line support, which is in the 11.6 area. Right, ZW. ZW is still in the channel, still proceeding down towards channel support, and that's currently in the 463 area. It may not reach that channel support, but at the moment I'm not seeing any particular reason to think it's not going to. So I've got a little positive divergence here, so slight that I haven't actually marked it up. I'm not seeing any strong reason to think this is reversing back up at the moment. CC had a little trend line marked in here. This is in effect bull flag resistance. We're breaking up through that slightly, so I'd be expecting a retest of this high next in all probability. That's at 28.50. No current divergence. All right, in that case, well, I think that's a wrap on the recording.